So according to a Bloomberg article, Ubisoft are in talks with Tencent to be bought out. Ubisoft declined to comment, and what we're reading here sounds pretty down bad for Ubisoft. Due to underperforming Ubisoft games, Ubisoft stocks are dropping. They are facing a lot of internal turmoil, and it's now got to the point where they are talking with another company to pretty much be acquired, if I'm understanding it correctly. In a recent live stream of mine, I made an entire slideshow presentation all about why this is a terrible idea for Ubisoft's games, especially games like Assassin's Creed. We thought Ubisoft were bad with microtransactions and poor quality games. Well, it's probably about to get a lot worse. Tencent buying Ubisoft. The Ubisoft situation just got worse. Disclaimer, I got all my info from this guy. This is a video I watched earlier. He delved deep into, everything. Tencent as a company, their beginnings, what they turned into, their affiliation with the CCP, which is the Chinese Communist Party, is a very major factor into how they operate. I got everything from this video. So who are Tencent? They are China's biggest corporation. Serve the CCP in order to thrive. They control all social media and entertainment in China. Now, I say all, it's like 99% of social media. There are a few things like TikTok that operate in China, but when it comes to the Chinese people and what they consume, they basically control all of the social media and entertainment. They have major stakes in Western media, for example, gaming, music, like streaming services, and film and TV. Again, lots of movies, lots of streaming services. They also have just over 9% stake in Ubisoft. Are Tencent buying Ubisoft? Bloomberg reports that Ubisoft are in talks with Tencent to buy them out after major financial losses due to the underperforming games over the last few years. This is not set in stone. So far, just a business discussion. I'm loving the chat, by the way. Here comes Professor XR. It's a report right now. Again, probably come from an insider. It looks very reputable. They asked Ubisoft for comment. Ubisoft declined to comment because it is a very much internal conversation at the moment that we should not know about. And Ubisoft are probably kicking themselves that people are finding out about this with everything going on. It's probably not the best look for them. Why Ubisoft being acquired is a good thing. Ubisoft never really addressed the sexual misconduct allegations and tried to brush SA allegations under the rug. That was a few years back. Yes, Ubisoft did acknowledge them. They said they would put things in place to change it. But from what I understand, I'm going to just say it here for legal reasons, this is my opinion, but from what I understand, they fired some people, some people that were accused of misconduct, and they presumably fired some other people, but then from what I understand, in my opinion, it came out that they'd just been moved around within the company, which is, in my opinion, brushing those allegations under the rug. And also, from what I understand, a couple years back, there was a talk with people that work anonymously within Ubisoft, and in my opinion, from what I understand, a lot of replies back to this investigation were that not much, if anything, has changed for the safety of people within the work environment. So, being acquired by a different company, well, if that company cares about the safety of their employees, then this could be a good thing because it might be safer for the employees. Removing the Guillemot family for new leadership could provide a safer work environment, as I said. Ubisoft don't care for art. They only care for the bottom line. Their games suffer. Now sales are suffering because of this. People are starting to clock on that, oh, this game that I bought from Ubisoft, a few years back, wasn't very good. And now I bought this game this year from Ubisoft, and it wasn't very good. It was just trying to sell me microtransactions, and I didn't get a real substantial experience from it. I'm going to stop buying games from Ubisoft. People are starting to clock on. Why Tencent buying Ubisoft is a bad idea. Tencent are known to fill their games with Chinese propaganda. Again, I got all of this information from that initial video that I put in my disclaimer. So if that's wrong, then I apologize. But I'm just saying that for, legal reasons. It looks to be that it very much is the case. CCP data surveillance, brackets question mark. This is more of speculation. People in China that work through, live through Tencent's social media, which is called WeChat. They use everything through WeChat. They order an Uber or the Chinese version of an Uber on WeChat. They pay their bills on WeChat. They get paid from their job on WeChat. They go to the cinema and pay for a ticket on WeChat. Everything they do, they go on Tinder, their version of Tinder on WeChat. Everything they do is through WeChat, created by Tencent. Now, this is done as the perfect way to survey people in China, to get all of their data, to know exactly where they are at all times, what they're doing on the internet at all times, what they're saying to people on messages. It's the ultimate breach of privacy. So if Tencent take over Ubisoft and we are playing Tencent's games, again, it's speculation, but I wonder how much of a breach of privacy with our data, with our, our whereabouts, our details, our personal details, that will go to Tencent. I don't know, it's speculation. Tencent only care from the bottom line as well as Ubisoft, but this time it's worse. Ubisoft show microtransactions, but Tencent are known to make games purely for microtransactions, to completely fill the games with them, and that's basically the only reason they're made. It's like a whole other ball game when it comes to Tencent. They are known to fill games with MTX, as I said. And if you didn't know, MTX is an abbreviation for microtransactions, which is a descriptive word for in-game shop items like outfits or weapons or XP boosts that you give the company, the game, extra money for when you've already bought the game. Tencent are literal Templars. Can you really in my opinion, can you really imagine Tencent developing Assassin's Creed games that stick true to the core narrative themes? AC has always been about seeking the liberation of an oppressed people because freedom equals peace. Isn't that everything the CCP and therefore Tencent are against? Bruh, we about to get Templar's Creed. It would be insane to see. Imagine this, but this is not a real scenario, just saying, but it might be real in the future. Imagine Tencent do acquire Ubisoft. They see Assassin's Creed for the storyline it has, the narrative themes it has, and they say, well, this goes against everything that we stand for because that's what the CCP stand for. Again, just for a bit of context, Tencent have to conform to what the CCP believe in, their political ideology. They have to conform to that. Otherwise, the CCP will shut down Tencent. They just have to do it. So again, if the CCP believes something, then subsequently Tencent also by default believe the same thing. Whether they do really or not, they have to. So yeah, imagine this scenario. Tencent buy Ubisoft. They see the core themes of Assassin's Creed and, it's seeking liberation, it's seeking freedom, it's world peace through being able to think for oneself and not conforming to oppression, to one leadership. They're going to see that and think, that's literally everything that we do not stand for. That's everything we stand against as a CCP. And imagine this. They literally change the name of Assassin's Creed to Templar's Creed or something crazy like that. They make the Templars the good guys. They change everything because if they buy Ubisoft, they can do that. Is that a major weird dystopian future for games? Yes, definitely. Is it possible? If they acquire Ubisoft, if this does go through, then it's very possible. And that'll be insane. And I think if Tencent do acquire Ubisoft, I'm going to be out. I'm going to be out of Assassin's Creed. I can't, feasibly, morally buy and talk about any new Assassin's Creed game or any new Ubisoft game, in my opinion, that are made by Tencent. I just don't align with that, and I couldn't do that, so I'd be out. I talk about the older games, but I wouldn't talk about any of the newer ones. Moving on. I've got a bad feeling about this. If you thought Ubisoft were bad with shilling MTX and delivering half-baked games, you've seen nothing yet, as I alluded to earlier. What we're about to see, if this goes through, I don't think we can even imagine it yet. It's gonna be insane, but it's Tencent and they will get away with it 100% because their majority consumer market is in China. So if they can shill these games to the Chinese marketplace, then it doesn't matter what we say in the West because the majority are going to be playing in China and they're gonna make insane amounts of money. And it's Assassin's Creed, so people will still play. Thanks for listening, bro. Thank you for listening. What do you guys think about that? I want to hear your guys' thoughts. We'll talk about it more. That's pretty much where it's at. Again, a lot of this information I got about Tencent and the CCP and how they work together was from that video. I'll click on it again so you guys can see it. The secret Chinese company that owns everything. It's a very insightful video. It is 1 hour 18 and 46 seconds. It's a very long video, but it's definitely worth the watch just for more context into what Ubisoft's and Tencent working together or being bought by Tencent would result in potentially. You know, if you want that context, it's very much worth watching that video.